do this. And it's like the Holy Spirit was directing him on, like, open this, okay, fix this, okay, go do this, do that. And eventually the car was like really good, and everyone was amazed. And for, it's not something that he had planned. Okay, today I'm waking up, I'm going to ask God, I'll fix this car, have that massive faith that it will go well. But something he just, it was just spontaneous, and he prayed God about it. And I think that's really how he works at some point, where when we definitely need him in making some certain decisions in life, making decisions on like which school to go to, for instance, those people who are maybe at ALU or other schools. Yeah, I believe it's him who guided. And to the next question is, in making decisions, especially important decisions in life, how have you seen him lead you in like making important or even not important decisions, even like, okay, you're wearing this dress today, you're wearing these shoes, don't wear black, wear green. Have you had this experience where he's definitely led you in making certain decisions in life?
I think that again, it's very, like, there is no blueprint, and I wish that there were like a documentation you could read, and then you know what to expect. So I do this, and when I do after this step, so this is the result I'm expecting. But it's never like that. So in this sense, you know, whenever it's a hard, you know, like or decision I need to make, I do pray about it and think through it. Like, so at this point, I just, you know, this is, you know, what's going on, and then I am leaning towards this, maybe doing this making this particular choice. But now I'm like, if I am, maybe I might be making a mistake, but if I am leaning towards this particular decision, maybe that's because that's what he wants me to do. Actually, that's what he wants me to, you know, this is the way he wants to take me. And so far, like, so many good things have happened. I'm not sure. Maybe if I had gone in another direction, maybe some things even better could have happened, but I will never know. So I'm learning to be okay with that, the fact that I will never know, and whatever, you know, decisions I have made, that I am, you know, comfortable with them, and like I'm okay with whatever is going on. And when I lean towards something, I'm like, okay, that's actually him, you know, letting me know that I should lean into this. That's his way of talking to me, because I can't just call him and get a straight answer from him.
That's so great. Here I can see your former schoolmates are in this call. Nyagodi, shout out. Lucy, shout out. So Kuku, Jess, wow, people are listening to you today. You have
let's not go crazy, but okay.
Fantastic. And yeah, I think what you really said is true. And for me, whenever talking about ALU, you know, I usually say everyone who came to ALU has a story, you know, of how you landed in that school.
Everyone does.
And for me, honestly, it's just like it's just by God's grace. And yeah, my story is more of, you know, him literally taking away all the other options, right? So that this was one of the options that I had. Yeah, and it's a very long one. But as for you, just let's go. Let's rewind 4 years ago.
Well, honestly, I guess this is a perfect example of him, you know, doing the work and truly guiding me, because it It was not planned. Already in school, I was in my second year, and it was going okay, no issue, whatever. But man, this is such a good story. But again, back in 2015, I had actually applied for LU Mauritius, but then in our gap year, I had applied for LU Mauritius. I got through the first round. The second round, I was already doing an internship, and I'm like, this looks, complicated for me. Also, what makes you think they will select? Like, the self-doubt was at 100%, and I was like, these people, at that point when ALU was starting, free everything, like scholarship on an island. This is a scam. These people will never select you. So that's why I never actually went through with my application. Not because I was rejected or anything, but I disqualified myself by not applying. Went to another school, and then my boss tells me ALU is coming to Rwanda, and I'm like, yeah, I'm already in school in my second. What are you going to do? And then I found myself applying to going through all those essays and whatnot. And then, got admitted, went to a few meetings, had a few arguments with my parents. Do you know how to explain that you're taking universities in your second year? I guess that's him doing it. Because we really, it became a serious issue. Like how, also, with leadership core, you can't go back. You can't go. You can't use the credits you already have. So you actually have to restart the whole thing. So that was a serious issue with my parents. Like, arguments were involved, like trying to convince them, and then at the point they were like, okay, that's what you want to do, we can't stop you, blah blah blah. We went to a couple of meetings, and then they had to, I think we were supposed to start in May, and then they tell us it's in September. I took my dad to school. I'm like, I am not going to explain this to you. I cannot. Please just come. There is a meeting. He went in there with Veda, Fred, and everybody. I was like, please, tell him I was not going to explain myself. What was I going to say? Even him, he told me, you couldn't really tell this to me, whatever. So I took him to school. He went through the presentation. He was like, only 3 parents attended, and he was one of those people. I was like, no, this is not going, like, And then, he at some point, they just got used to the idea, like, is it Kigali Heights that is attracting you to this school? Is that why you want to go? That's a shiny building, but we don't know these people.
Yeah, I know. Wow. And I believe it was really hard. Like, for me, it was even harder.
But I can't hear you properly now. I can't hear you properly.
Can you hear me now?
No, it's a little bit shaky again. Like, I don't know what's wrong with the volume, but it was working before.
Let me see. And now?
Better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying, for me, we did like a farewell party, at home. So I'm coming in May, right? And everyone is expecting, okay, this guy is leaving. So they did a farewell. And then on my flight to Rwanda, right? That's when my friends are calling me, oh, I received the email. And I'm like, which email, bro? Like, which email are you talking about? Yeah. That the school has been pushed to September. So we're not starting in May. So
you had already bought the ticket.
I was on the plane coming here. Imagine. So the guy.
That's even worse. That's terrible.
For real. So I just thought he's joking. So I just hung up and so I got here. I'm like, they're supposed to pick us up. Okay, let me call the school. So that's when I called. One of the admissions guys was Christiane, and then she said, oh, yeah, actually you're not supposed to come because school is starting in September. So I'm like, what? this thing was real. So imagine coming here, then going back home, and then you have to face your parents. Why should you go back? Yeah, because this thing is not like it's legit. We just doubted it from the start. We
Yeah.
doubted if it will work. And it was like hard explaining it to them. But I think later on, after praying about it, I think I was really certain and sure that okay, this is a place where God really wants me to be, right? And the whole conversation of like talking to the Holy Spirit, I think then it was just unconscious. I didn't know He was working, but as for me, I just prayed about it, and He just gave my parents some level of patience, right? And they yes, they doubted, yes, they had their questions, yes, they did this and that, but I think He definitely helped me out a lot, yeah. And through the entire time, I can say up to when they agreed again for me to come back, it's just by His grace, right? And then now, looking back for you, right? After you joined ALU, you guys, your stories, you were just hearing about those guys who, especially you guys who joined a bit earlier, I guess. I think, yeah. We were just hearing your stories of what you guys were doing, and we were so inspired, So when you look at, let's just talk about your life in campus, right? Is there a point where you just like reached and just thank God for bringing you at this place that you wouldn't have in other place, right? So this would be experiences that you had with God, like personally experiencing Him more or coming to know Him more while you are at ALU and maybe not in any other place. And I think I can attest to the fact that I even like drew more closer to God at ALU. I think just being part of the different Rwandan communities really helped me grow, and it's not something I would experience in the campus I was back in Kenya. And for you, do you have certain stories where you're like, okay, I really thank God I went to this campus, or I met certain people there, or I did certain things there that I wouldn't have done before?
Yeah, for sure. I would say that for me, it was like LU was a really game changer for me, one way or the other, because I'm really grateful for, everything that I got to do, the kind of projects we got to work on, the whole class experience, everything everything in between LU has really been a blessing. It was not an easy blessing to get, but it was a worthy experience in my opinion, because I really don't think that I would have gotten the type of education that LU has provided. It was never perfect. When you're an inauguration class, things happen, but lots of things happened, but I'm grateful that I was, really part of that experience. And I know that at least not in Rwanda, or I guess it's different wherever you go, whatever school you go to, but I was really grateful, especially at graduation. That's when it's leading up to graduation, that's when you think about a few things. And I was really happy that I went through what I went through, and the whole experience. Again, it was really unconscious, but the whole process of even getting, in at LU and the scholarship, everything, it's just, a testimony of him showing you, this is the direction I want you to go into. This is the experiences I want you to have at this particular time. My major disappointment at the time was that, you're not going to graduate at, I guess, at 21 or 22 as you had planned. Now you are graduating at 24, and that was like a major thing for me, because that's what would, with the switching of schools, would do to my, to my graduation date. So that was big at the time, but looking at the kind of experience and value I got from it, 2 years is nothing. And I'm really glad that like it doesn't even matter that much. Like before I went to university with people who had like kids my age, so it really doesn't matter your age or whatever. As long as you want to pursue an education, you do pursue it. So I'm grateful that I go to be part of that whole experience. And it was hard, but also I was working and was not really present
Yeah,
at school as most people would be, which was kind of a
I know.
disappointment. But I was like, that those students who submit at 11:58.
You are one of them.
I was one of those. So my at
Wow.
least my school experience out of the classroom was very limited. I only got to go to a few things because I was just like always
Yeah.
really tired, or I come in for like 10 minutes and then I disappear. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I remember it was
Yeah.
so hard to see you in school. Really
Yeah.
hard to
You're
see
like
you.
you're a ghost in your own school.
And you working and you pursuing your studies as well, right? I believe it was like a really great challenge. How do
Yeah.
you think? How did you be able? How were you able to balance that? And did at some point you get to a point where you are asking God, okay, I think I really need strength from you. I really need courage from you, or
Yeah. I think the first thing I was praying for was my habits, because like my procrastination, I was
yeah,
like, please God, just help me get through these things, because you know when like too much is happening, then I just freeze and do nothing. So
yeah, wow,
that was my main challenge, and asking for strength to just get over with things. Do them. They don't
yeah,
have to be perfect. You don't have to write
yeah,
that essay in, do the research and perfect it in one sitting. And that was a serious issue for me too at first. So even
yeah,
now, it's a really it's a process for me, because um I had to get used to get used to not knowing and not being in control of everything, which is
yeah,
also, I guess, in line with faith, and accepting that you walk in many situations without necessarily knowing what's going on, and having the faith that God is guiding you and has He has your best interest at heart. And also trying your best even when you don't know. And I like to know. So that's where the issue and curve was for me.
wow, wow, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Ish, I know that must be a really huge challenge, because working in such an industry, I know the tech industry is really, really engaging, right? And I know people who just stay the whole day and night awake, trying
Yeah.
to sort issues, trying to innovate. And I really feel you in that. And you know, also on my end, I think it's happened a lot, whereby I just got to a point where let me just submit this thing for the sake of
Mm.
just kids or something, yeah, and not worrying
But I
about
hate that
what
feeling,
will
man.
happen
I
in the
hate it.
I know. And
When
then
you're submitting something mediocre, oh, that doesn't work. It doesn't sit well with me. I have done it,
yeah,
but it's just really terrible. It's
but
terrible.
exactly, exactly. And I think I had really proactive. My roommate was one of the most proactive guys. So it was those early birds who could submit. If the
Oh,
work is
I
due
hate those
Thursday,
too.
but by
I am
Monday he
very
submitted.
envious.
I know. By Monday he submitted. Then he's enjoying his weekend. And me, the work that's due tonight, 11:59, I'll start it at 8 p.m. You know. And then at 8 p.m., I don't even want you to talk to me or do anything. I'll just be there, like I'll just
Yeah.
be working. And I think through the entire like 3.5, 4 years, that was like my model of like studying and of
It's not the
submitting as
best, but that was
you
also
know,
mine.
and it's not the best, yeah.
Yeah.
And what's really I think was I was also handling like work and studies as well. So it got to a point where I was like, this thing is too much. But I remember every time I used to start those assignments at that time, I just like really asked God, oh please, like help me finish this. Like just saying a simple prayer like that. And how he really worked and he helped me do and accomplish that. It's something that even to date, it's just a miracle, you know. And I think basically through that season, I learned that, you know, the Holy Spirit is always present, and you can always ask him of anything, either big or small, you know. Sometimes we think, all right, prayer is just going there, you know, kneeling down at your room. But it's not only that. It's even just praying when you're starting an exam or starting the day at work or just starting the day at school and just telling him, oh, Lord, I'm doing this. Please be with me, you know. Not very short and precise prayers usually like go a long way. And on my entire experience at the ADU, I can say, yeah, that's what like really saved me. Because if it was by my own strength, I think I wouldn't have handled it. Yeah. Yeah. And then like I think I have two last questions before we wrap up. Yeah. One is when you look at people, you know, these are people who are at campus we are talking about. What is that one advice you would give them about you know, about just God or just anything relating to just getting and drawing closer to him? Because at campus is where you find there's everything, you know. There are a lot of distractions. There are a lot of things to learn. You learn by experience. You'll be taught things, right? A lot of things that you never had about before. That's the space where you will listen to it. So what is that one advice you will give them and tell them, all right, despite of all these things happening around you, despite of people introducing new things to you, you listening to new ideas, experiencing different cultures, what is that one thing you would encourage them with tonight?
This is a tough one, but I think the things that have kept me grounded in whatever situation is having really good friends that you trust, you know, their judgment and opinions, and running a few things by them to see how, you know, they would feel about, you know, a certain situation and things like that. Or just, I think for me, when like too many things are going on, I just like isolate myself for some time. That's what works for me to recharge, and I go to my room, close it, you know, sleep, watch a movie, whatever that is, and then I am rejuvenated again. But I think that I would say find a group of people who think, you know, like you have the same belief system, you have the same values, you agree on most things, and then you know, like they support you whenever, and you have kind of your limits. You have your limits depending on different situations. And I would also say like a group of people who are doing what you're also trying to do. Like right now, I am part of a mentorship program. And also we're learning about the Bible and different, you know, aspects of life. So that group is supporting me in that specific aspect. We are reading, we are learning different things that I would, honestly, I appreciate the structure, because that's something I cannot provide for myself. And that group, that the group is really bringing that structure and the support and like it's really really fun for me to learn about different things. Right now we're reading Ephesians, and it's a really great like I appreciate that, that platform for me to learn with them in that specific structure. But if you also have really good friends who knows these things better than you, then you go I think you go to them. And then if you're,
Wow.
like me, if you're whenever I'm having an issue, I just go to my room, and if I can lock myself up for the day, and then tomorrow I will be okay.
Wow, wow, wow. That's fantastic, and yeah, I really do agree with that. The having just a group of people, who you're close with, and I think that was what has like really kept me at ALU. Ever since
Mm,
the first day I came to even to date, right? Just kept like a very close group of people and of friends who actually we talk about God. We are really close, and I think that really helps. You're not you even though you are. It feels so different when you're away, very far away from home. And
mm,
there's nothing like, all right, there's you should be home by 8 p.m. or you should be home by 6 p.m. And what really keeps you grounded is like those friends that you formed,
yeah,
and those friends that really can keep you accountable, one, and two, that you can just learn about God together. And I think when I joined, I had a good friend who introduced me to CLA, and at first I thought, wow, this church is amazing. And Wednesday, my friend took me for cell, and then after that I just like clicked with those guys at CLSL, which I'm still part of today. And I think I've been
yeah,
able to learn a lot from that youth cell, and I'm really growing, and we're really experiencing a lot. We've done a lot of activities, not just learning about the word, but even exploring. We've gone for hiking, and I think that became more of a family here in Rwanda, right? And so I really agree to that, right? So yeah, as we wrap up, I think first of all I want to just thank you for your time. H, we know you have a very busy schedule. It's a Friday where,
uh-huh.
yeah, I know you're supposed to. I think for me it's been a long week, really long week, but yeah, just when it gets to Friday, I'm just like, thank God, at least it's Saturday. And before you know,
Yeah,
it's Monday again.
yeah,
And yeah, I think I just really want to thank you for making time, especially on this day and on a short notice. And just to thank you that all the insights you've shared, like I've personally learned a lot, and I will definitely continue thinking about them, like even later, and this live will be shared with other people, and I'm sure as they're watching it, they'll be enriched, right, in everything
yeah.
they do. Yeah. So yeah, unless there's something you want to tell this campus people before we go.
I think we really covered it, and this was really great to. I guess it's to reflect on how we interact with the Holy Spirit and what that really
Yeah.
means, for our everyday tasks.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. That's very true. And I think today I was just thinking, all right, every time we sometimes you just caught up into routines, you're caught up into a lot of things, but every moment have you paused and thought, oh, like what am I grateful for? Like God has given me good help. Like God has really helped me, be able to even like joining IG Live, being able to
Mm.
just be at a good place, at a good space. And I think that is what like God has been teaching me through
Yeah.
this week. Just being grateful and being thankful
Mm-hmm.
for everything. Like even in those little things, I realized there's a day I literally like I got a very bad accident. I couldn't walk. I realized, wow, I've been taking like, and what, like this is something that every day literally I just thank God. Oh, like or even on those little things that we usually take for granted, that we just definitely have to give thanks to Him. And yeah, I think that I'm really learning today, and I'm looking forward to inviting you next time.
Yeah, this was really great. Thank you.
Yeah, and say hi to the children. I didn't see them. You will have brought them in.
Hopefully, they should be asleep by now.
I know, but I know next time we want them to also join the live because they're the future leaders, you know.
True, very true.
Time flies, time
Okay.
flies. Like the other day, there was like the Kenya national exam, and I was shocked. I was shocked. There's one of a kid I literally like carried in my arms, you know. Then I was being called, oh, this one got X number of marks. I was like, what? You know, they've already done the national exams, you know, and
Yeah.
it was really really fantastic. So
Yeah,
it
we are
was nice
definitely getting
talking.
old. Nice
I
talking
know.
to you
Wow.
too.
Nice talking and wishing you a very lovely weekend and hope to see you in church on Sunday. Yeah. I'll be watching up. I don't want to see you on YouTube. Not. I want to see you I'll see you in church.
Let's hope. Let's hope for the best.
Okay. Okay.
Sawa
Have a
sawa.
lovely.
Thank you. Have a lovely
Thank
weekend too.
you. Bye.
Bye bye.